Over the weekend, an altercation that was filmed at Central Park left many just so angry. I want to show it to you. You've probably already seen it, but here is Central Park Karen.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African-American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African-American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately. I'm in Central Park in the Ramble. I don't know.
Thank you.
Okay, that's one of the worst things I've seen in a very long time, because everyone watching that knows what she was trying to do. Why she was trying to make it sound as if she was being chased by a guy with a machete, and that if she was not saved in mere seconds, he would kill her. And in America, what happens when cops show up on a scene and an African-American male, as she says, is believed to be threatening people? We have an idea of what would happen. I have a feeling she probably does too. And she knew that when she decided to make the threat and tried to sell it with an Oscar-quality performance there on that call.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure everyone watching, everyone is just similarly frustrated. You said it. She knew exactly what she was doing. She made it pretty clear at the onset that the guy was black. And she even threw in the bicycle helmet thing. I think it was kind of subtle, but she's like, with a bicycle helmet. Well, what other purpose is that supposed to do other than to imply to the dispatcher that this guy might be dangerous or have a weapon? I have a friend who, growing up, he was pulled over by the police, and the police tried to use his football helmet and say he played high school football and say that was a weapon. So I think she was just looking for something else to make him sound even more dangerous. And then as the dog panicked, her voice similarly went into a shriek. And people have also, people have found on her Instagram, her dog's Instagram, that this dog is always mysteriously injured. This woman does not seem well. She's now subject to a ton of scrutiny. Her employer is cracking down on her. But, the underlying thing is she was weaponizing her whiteness to try to put a black guy who was just minding his own business for the most part in harm's way. She knew what she was doing, and she knew the risks associated with police activity with black men, and she was trying to use that to an advantage, and that could have put him in danger or even ended his life. It's absolutely grotesque.
Yeah, and for people who might not have read about that situation, what was going on around there, I mean, there's added layers of irony that she was actually breaking the rules by keeping her dog unleashed in an area where she's not supposed to. He apparently was in the park to watch birds. Just to give an idea how dangerous he was. He was there to watch birds, the most passive hobby I think I've ever heard of in my life. He was worried that having dogs constantly running around could be bad for the birds, that it could injure them or something like that. And so he had offered a treat to the dog or something so that she would put her leash on so that the dog wouldn't come over to get the treats. She says that she doesn't know what was in the treats, and that was the threat. Because he was offering the treats, it could be potentially deadly to her and her dog. So that's why she made the call and implied that the guy had a rocket launcher aimed at her or something like that, and was so cavalier with his life. As you pointed out, her employer has put her on administrative leave and said, we take these matters very seriously and we do not condone racism of any kind. They're doing an investigation. We'll see what ends up happening with that. She has put out a statement saying, I sincerely and humbly apologize to everyone, especially to that man, his family. It was unacceptable, and I humbly and fully apologize to everyone who's seen that video everyone that's been offended, everyone who thinks of me in a lower light, and I understand why they do. She says her life is being destroyed right now. It's a fine apology. I mean, some people will see it as she's attempting to stem the damage to herself, which I get.
Yeah, I mean, she's lucky that nothing happened. You know, that guy's here. He goes about his day today, which is great. And so many other circumstances where people have done that and used that to their advantage over such trivial issues like putting your dog on a leash. You know, other people in his situation might not have been here.
Yeah.
So she's extremely fortunate. I don't know how I feel specifically about kind of like an online reaction and getting her in trouble at work. Not sure how I feel about that entirely. It's kind of complicated, but she feels some shame, and she should, because, you know, she could have gotten an innocent guy killed.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't generally love identifying people or hunting them down unless they did something violent, which, yes, theoretically this could have been, or if they're like a candidate or something like that and they're doing this sort of thing, then people need to know. But we need to cover it because people need to know that this stuff is going on. I mean, we've done a million cases, more or less, million stories more or less like this. It would have been very easy for us to wake up, you and I discuss this story, it's this man was killed by the cops, and a video comes out showing that she had been totally making it up. Like, we've seen that story many times. Hopefully people learn by seeing this experience. I doubt it, because nothing seems to be getting better. But yeah, people's utter frustration with her and how she just weaponized her whiteness there, I totally understand. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.